career mode, but we can only sign underrated players. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. First of all, we're going to choose a club that's probably underrated right now. For me, that's got to be Leicester City. I feel like ever since they won the Premier League, for them to establish themselves as like a top 4 team is a massive accomplishment, and I still feel like they're overlooked. The fact that they weren't given a Super League invitation kind of shows that, but then again, I think Leicester City are definitely one of the most underrated clubs in the world right now, and they'll be getting Champions League football next season for the most part, so doing this challenge with Leicester just feels right. Talking about the Champions League, we're definitely going to be putting them in this competition for today's video. I normally remove Chelsea from the Champions League, but I think it's only fair we remove Man United now because of the fact that they are in the Europa League this season. So where the hell are, of course, Leicester City? There they are. So we're putting Leicester in the Champions League for this one. Now that we're here with Leicester City, let's talk about what we're going to be doing. So the objective is pretty simple. We're going to have to sign 11 underrated players in different positions and completely replace this team that you're seeing on your screen right now. So we need to sign a set of underrated players that fit every position in this team and try and win trophies with them. We're giving ourselves £1 billion to get through the signing smoothly. Now don't you expect me to sign Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo for this video. We're signing only underrated players. That's the challenge. I do understand calling a player underrated is subjective, but we're still gonna run with it. I don't think there's any doubt about the first player I want to sign for this challenge, and that's Karim Benzema. I think he is the most underrated striker of this generation, possibly the best as well. You could definitely put him up there with the likes of Luis Suarez. I think he's had a better career than Luis Suarez as well. You could make a good argument, but he's never been rated that way, so for me, he has to be the star signing of this challenge. Probably the reason why I'm making this video, because I feel like Karim Benzema deserves a lot more recognition. Definitely the most underrated player in football right now. Let's sign him up. And there you have it, guys. We've just signed Karim Benzema for the challenge. 92.6 million. Not too bad. For that striker spot, I think we could have gone for a wide variety of players. Like Olivier Giroud, I think, is a big candidate. I think he's super underrated. His record speaks for himself. So many big game goals. But of course, we can only pick one striker. I want to try and sign one underrated player for every position. So that's why Giroud misses out. I think for someone who won the Man of the Match award in a Champions League final, Angel Di Maria is super underrated. Even at PSG, he's often looked as maybe like second or third fiddle to Mbappe and Neymar, but if you would have watched yesterday's game between PSG and Man City, you'll know this guy is an absolute baller, and I think he's one of the most underrated wingers in football right now. He's 32, but he's still got it, man. So good. Even Argentina dropped him, guys, for some of the national team games, and that shows a lot about how underrated he is. So let's sign him up. Angel Di Maria and Benzema have joined the ranks. I think Di Maria is a fitting player to have in this underrated setup. I think him and Benzema up top. Oof, that is brilliant. Also, guys, I'd really appreciate if you could spare a second and drop a like on the video. If we can smash out, let's say, 4,000 likes on this one, that would be amazing. Let me know if you guys have any video ideas like this one. Subscribe if you're new around here, and let's keep going. Honestly, guys, I think it would be disrespectful if we don't end up signing Thomas Müller for this video. I think he has got to be, over the last decade or so, the most underrated player. I think even more so than Benzema for what he's done. We saw him in the Champions League last season. It was brilliant. He's been brilliant all throughout the decade. He's a World Cup winner as well, and his record at the World Cup speaks for himself. He is so underrated, and we're going to sign him up for this team 100%. The crazy thing about Thomas Müller is that EA forgot to include him in like the Team of the Year nominations this year. That just goes to show how underrated he is. I think we need to put some respect on Sergio Busquets' name, because probably the most underrated midfielder of the last generation. People talk about Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, but they forget about Sergio Busquets, and I think he's got to be there. It's been over a decade, and he's still a crucial part of the Barca team. He may not be as good as he was before, but I still think he deserves to be in this underrated team. And there you have it. Sergio Busquets has been signed for this underrated FC. So I've signed Leandro Paredes to accompany Sergio Busquets in that midfield. I think Paredes has been pretty amazing for PSG lately, but he's just not getting the respect I think he deserves. He even is a part of the Argentina team, by the way, and a crucial part in midfield. His overall right now is 79. The disrespect is unbelievable. He's played in the Champions League final last year, and now he's in the semi-finals, of course. I think his overall, after like updating the squads, is still a low 81, but still, I think Paredes deserves a higher rating. I think he's definitely underrated for what he's been delivering for PSG and even Argentina. Okay, I do not understand how Raheem Sterling has just made the move to Manchester United. That is honestly a bit mental. Okay, we're still able to sign him somehow. I don't even know how is this possible, but we're gonna try and get this done. Let's do it. Submit offer, 103 million. And we'll see what's up. Oh my god, they want a 170. But since we've got way too much cash, we're gonna do it anyways. We're signing Raheem the Dream Sterling. Now, I know Sterling is pretty high rated on FIFA and is pretty well rated in real life. But for his stats, I feel like he's disrespected a lot. Just because he misses a few sitters here and there, people don't see what he offers all round with his game. And that his stats are still incredible even after all those misses. So I think for Raheem Sterling to be here is deserved. Plus, there weren't really any other good options for left wing. So I think Raheem Sterling was the most underrated among the options we had. So that is why I'm going for him and we've signed him up. Now for the fullbacks, it was actually pretty difficult because I couldn't find a couple of fullbacks that were like super underrated. But I feel like these two definitely. Seamus Coleman, like, he's not a top player anymore, but in his prime, you know, a few seasons ago, I thought he was as good as any right back in the world, at least for a brief season or so. For Everton, he was so good. I think it was under Roberto Martinez, and I think people still overlooked him massively. So for that reason, I think he's a good fit for the team, for the underrated FC. Zinchenko, I think, deserves a lot more credit than he gets as well for, you know, moving from midfield to left back. We saw how good he was after being brought on against PSG, but I feel like, you know, him not being in the pecking order for the left back spot, you know, above Cancelo, who's actually a right back, kind of disrespectful. So I think the two are good candidates for underrated FC. And there you have it, the fullbacks for the team have been sorted. Seamus Coleman from Everton, who's by the way only 79 rated, but you know, it's not about getting the highest rated team this challenge, just building a fun underrated squad. And Zinchenko has been signed for that left back position. Now this one's gonna be a bit controversial for some, but I've decided to include Gerard Piqué in the back line for this underrated FC. I just feel like Piqué gets disrespected so much because of his apparent lack of pace, but people don't look at his overall game. For me, he is quite possibly the best centre-back after Ronald Koeman Barca ever had. You could debate about Puyol and him, but let's say you put Puyol above him, he's still top 3 in Barca's history. He's been a part of Spain's most successful period, Barca's most successful period, and he's still so good. Look at how good he was after Barcelona was struggling without him. Then he comes on, wins them games, scoring headers and just being so strong defensively. I feel like he gets disrespected too much because of like accounts on Twitter like Troll Football and whatnot. I feel like he's super underrated. He is definitely on par, in my opinion, with Sergio Ramos, or pretty close. And the disrespect he gets definitely makes him underrated. Can't believe I'm making a signing from Burnley, but if there's one Burnley player I feel is fairly underrated, it's James Tarkowski. I feel like he's been so good at that centre-back role for Burnley. Of course, it's not that difficult being a Burnley defender compared to like football terms because they just sit back and they counter, but James Tarkowski has been brilliant for them. He's got a spot in the English national team, and I feel like the fact that no big club actually wants him right now or is trying to sign him is definitely a bit disrespectful, and that means he will be completing the team for us, at least the outfield players, and we're going to be signing him up for like 27 million. So there you have it. Tarkowski completes the outfield 10. I think you guys have an idea who the final player of this challenge is going to be, because I think everybody agrees that he's one of the most underrated players of all time now, because his performances, I mean, it's kind of funny how the moment I want to try and call Keylor Navas underrated, show him some appreciation, he messes up a cross in a Champions League semi-final. But that doesn't take away the Champions Leagues he's won, the saves he's made for PSG so far. I think he's got to be the keeper for this team. I just feel like there's no other player that can take his spot. So we're going to sign Navas. And there you go. The signing of Navas has been complete. And with that, we've assembled a squad full of underrated players. Let's take a look at the team. Underrated FC is actually looking pretty good, to be honest. Sterling, Benzema, Di Maria up top, Muller, Paredes and Busquets in midfield, Zinchenko, Tarkowski, Piqué and Coleman in the back with Navas in goal. This is the squad I deem to be the most underrated, you know, the players. Let me know in the comment section who would you replace and put whom in. I'd love to know. Because it's very subjective, this video. Players I feel that are underrated, you might think that they're overrated, but that's the squad we're going for. We'll have Piqué captain the team, Benzema, Di Maria take free kicks and all. So that's the setup, guys. Let's now sim until the end of the season and see where Mr. Underrated FC can take this underrated squad to. Wow, Manchester United are in a different zone right now. What on earth is going on? Liverpool 8th. We're halfway through the season, guys, and it's chaos in the Prem. We're third, which isn't all that bad. Then again, Leicester in real life, without all these signings, are third anyways. But this is a bit crazy, kind of mirroring what's happening in real life, except City are fourth as well. A bit mental. Everton somehow sneak into the top 4 in second spot. Interesting. What about the Champions League? What is going on over there? We've managed to top our group. 6 games, 6 wins. PSG knocked out of the Champions League. That's what happens when you take away Navas and Angel Di Maria. Let's see what we can do in the round of 16 and further on in this competition. We actually managed to knock out Gladbach in the round of 16. In the quarterfinals, we got the better of Liverpool. Now in the semis, we're up against City. First leg against Man City was a tough one, but we get ourselves an away goal. Second leg against Man City, we've taken them to extra time, but oh god, we've lost on penalties. So Underrated FC semi-finals in the Champions League is all we could get to. Now we had an FA Cup final against Chelsea. I thought maybe this is the moment where we get our first trophy with Underrated FC, but oh god. Chelsea have beaten us with a 120th minute winner. It's been heartbreaking, man. Penalties, we lost the Champions League. And now this in the FA Cup. We're going trophyless with Underrated FC. We actually made a great comeback towards the second half of the season. The gap was just 5 points between us and Man United, but they end up winning the league. We finish second. 86 points is still a big amount, guys. Chelsea and City round off the top 4. Liverpool in 5th. Oh my god, Raheem the Dream Sterling. What on earth are those stats? 45 goals and 15 assists in 59 games. That is 60 goal contributions from a winger in 59 games. That is mental from him. Benzema with not the craziest of stats, but still 23 goals and 9 assists. Muller showing why he should be rated way higher. 20 goals and 13 assists from him. Busquets coming with 8 goals. Where did that come from? Piqué not too bad, contributing offensively as well. Di Maria a bit underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. You had Vardy come in with a few goals. He could have easily slotted into this team as well, because I think he's super underrated. And Zinchenko is there as well with decent stats. That's how stats-wise the team's looking like. I still can't believe Sterling with those stats. Mental. Kinda disappointed we couldn't win a trophy with this team. I feel like there were definitely enough good players for us to bag some silverware. But oh well, that's how it's gone. That's the Underrated FC build. We managed to, of course, get to a semi-final in the Champions League, lost the cup, and of course, Premier League we finished second. Not too bad for a squad that's deemed underrated. With that, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Just a super fun upload while we be patient and wait for Saturday's return of the Dortmund Grim. Or if you've enjoyed today's one, I'd really appreciate if you could spare a second and drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you all next time. Let me know which underrated players would you sign for your team.